hello then.
Dea volete, ut mihi bonum lucimi vinias. Una me adiuvat contactum cum de.
Why, what are you doing there, hipster?
Oh, there's just so many religious games out there, and I'm just praying, hoping that there is at least one good one.
Maybe for now we can try another Myst clone. A game lost in the mists of time.
Wait, really? They even have Christian Myst clones?
Let me take you on a journey to space.
Oh god, what is happening? Pompous Bohemian, why do you keep doing this to me? I guess he's just straight up trying to kill me instead now. Oh god. Ah yes, Christian video games. They are definitely regarded in being infamous titles. There are the various NES games that are actually unlicensed releases. These include Bible Adventures, Exodus, The King of Kings, and Sunday Funday, which by the way, came out in 1995. Yeah, an NES game came out in 1995. It turns out it's because Nintendo of America had a ban on games with religious references. Later on, the releases include Catacombs, which I'm sure I don't need to explain more in depth. The Left Behind games, perhaps the most infamous of all due to their offensive and inaccessible nature, and the more recent Adam's Venture games, which I had reviewed, but it's back when my channel sucked. Of course, a religious adventure game shouldn't really be surprising, especially one that is a Myst clone. This is a special one, because the developer, Paul McCauley, stated that most Christian games are watered down to not scare anyone away, and that he wanted to do the opposite. So, is this game heaven, or are you better off partying in hell? Stay tuned to find out.
Who's that pointing and clicking his way to internet fame? You might be a little too cool for your mainstream kind of games, but if you like retro consoles and obscure PC stuff, then you might just be hip enough for this pretentious hipster.
This one has such an odd background, and looks like tons of effort for something made by such a small team. Paul McCauley founded Genesis Works in 1994 and wanted to create interactive games that stimulate Christian growth. He stated that in 1997, God told him to make a game about heaven. He tried to do it himself, but ultimately failed. After 3-4 years, he got into character animation, and it all changed. He wanted to start from scratch, with a 3D artist and animators to do the job. He said that he made the engine from scratch using Blink video technology. Pretty much the only character you see in the film was made by using motion capture. He then got what looked like some good people for it, mostly people involved in films. This included Stéphane Martiner, who did various book covers and did concept art for the classics Flubber and Battlefield Earth. However, he did work of video games, working for CN Worlds for Uru and Objection. There's also Dylan Cole, who did matte work for the classics Daredevil and Herbie Fully Loaded. The animators include Peter Engelbright, who worked on the game design for Captain Bible in Dome of Darkness, and worked on the various C64 sports games, Winter, Summer, and California games. Dustin Adar did visual effects for tons of films actually, including Stuart Little 2. Yeah, I know, I mostly include the more bad stuff of them, but many of them were involved in stuff like Terminator and Lord of the Rings, so I'm not brushing off their talent. In fact, I'd actually say that the game is kind of proof of that talent. So, where is the start of this game? It opens with the title card and this.
Igniting main app thrusters. Switching to autopilot.
This was honestly mind-blowing. It is intense in the sense that it gives that hook, but even with that, it still provided a cool atmosphere. I usually do want my adventure games to start with a main menu for better accessibility to start or load a new game, but I still thought that this was a super cool intro. You then can access this TV and see all of this. Wait, who is that? Poses and quite voluptuous. Well, anyways, you then look at other images and it's a cool way to show like a this is what happens next kind of thing. But a flaw I found with this is that they showed way too much. It's practically the entire game. Of course, this video will spoil the game because I'm sure most here won't play it, but I want to walk you through it instead. Still, I kind of thought this was a great start to this. This is where things get weird. I look at the computer console, and then I realize what this actually was. Yes, this is the main menu. What a cool way to do it! However, it ends up being quite weird when you load up new sessions because you just leave the crashing ship like that. Then I start the game. I honestly can't make out what he said here because the audio is so bad. From what I can tell, the lead always wanted to be an astronaut, and then his grandma died. She said to always believe in the Lord, and he says that he will stick to his dream of becoming an astronaut. Cut to 20 years later. You are on a mission to Jupiter, on a ship called, you guessed it, USS Genesis. Ooh, more of her? Sure, why not? Anyways, it cuts back and forth between the ship about to crash and this. You then see this. An angel grabs and escorts the ship. It turns out it's Michael. He then escorts the ship with the other angels. Yeah, this made even less sense. He wants to save your life, and to do so he sends you to heaven. Wouldn't it make more sense for you to die and then end up in heaven? Anyways, you, playing as Joshua, ends up there. And here she is. Ooh, maybe she'll explain who she is? Oh, I mean, quite exciting, yes?
Fear not. You are safe. You've had a long journey. You've come a long way. I am a friend, a close friend, one who knows you. Yes, Joshua, it's me, Grandma.
I'm sorry, what? Oh, Grandma? Well, that just got weird. She then says that at 16 years old, she gave her life to Jesus, meaning that she was baptized during that time. But like, does that mean she went back to being 16 years old? I'm assuming not, but then again, I don't even want to know. The best comparison I've had was an online friend telling me that she looks like an I envy you avatar. Either way, yeah, she's like this. Oddly enough, apparently before she wore a scarf. Anyways, of course, the conservative Christians weren't a fan of this. Christ-centered Gamer gave it quite a good score of 42 out of 50, and the appropriateness factor was a 48.5 out of 50, with 1.5 points being deducted for cleavage. Soma Games was not as nice with this, but it is a cool analysis, albeit weird. Access is clearly designed to be a sexually attractive figure. In terms of pixelated sexuality, she's probably somewhere between Lara Croft and Blood Rain. It's not just that she's a beautiful woman, which will be fine, it's that she's wearing clothes that everybody and their wife or girlfriend will recognize as trashy. In the context of the game, it gets really uncomfortable when you realize that she is in fact your grandmother, crossing and uncrossing her legs like Sharon Stone, and shaking her moneymaker as she leads you to, well, hello heaven. When Left Behind came out, the media focused on one particular aspect of the game. The headline would go something like this: Left Behind, convert non-believers to Christianity or kill them if they refuse. Now, that characterization of the game isn't entirely fair, but it's not entirely unfair either. Somebody inside that shop should have anticipated what the world would see as a game about conversion at gunpoint. Somebody inside Genesis Works should have realized that their headline will read, Heaven, get a tour of the throne room, and a lap dance while you were there. Access in her stripper boots will be the only thing that most people see here, and the truth is I can't blame them. There are too many slow pans across her chest to her belt buckle, tail swinging, and upskirt camera shots to conclude that this is an out of context thing. Genesis Works either made the decision to sexualize this character deliberately, or they have a profound degree of naivety about how this game appears to the average gamer. In one of the comments, apparently they emailed the company and the response was, "We've considered this aspect of the game with much deliberation and have chosen the vehicle of access with purpose." This cutscene then gets weird though. Look at all these weird cuts of her being in different positions, and the awkward sound transitions between them.
All who follow Jesus enter into this place. This place is eternal. We don't have much time. We must start our journey. Let's go.
It's kind of like the brilliant satirical film Beach Bum, starring Matthew McConaughey as a stoner poet. The film's depiction is basically nihilism disguised as an Adam Sandler film. But I digress. This is just the hipster in me. It then starts here. In Paradise Island. Honestly, the pre-rendered environments here are absolutely stunning. I was spending quite a bit of time just soaking in the surroundings. It made me think, wait a minute, is this game actually going to be awesome? I then noticed something weird when highlighting this item.
Take a closer look at that.
Hear that? Trust me, it's going to become the biggest flaw of this game. See? It gets worse.
Take a closer look at that.
Welcome to Paradise Island. This is where your journey to heaven begins. Once you leave Paradise Island, you will journey to the Golden Street, then to the Crystal Forest. You'll then take a magical flight to Creation Walkway and on to the Days of Creation Room. After that, you'll find yourself at the Pearly Gate. Once through the Pearl Gate, you'll proceed to the throne of Jesus. During your stay in heaven, you'll have to solve many mysteries and see beautiful wonders. Remember to always look and listen for me. I'll be here to help you in the spirit, as I am now, or at other times, I will be present in physical form. Also, the guiding compass will always be with you. Look down to see it. You can travel back and forth through the speed gates. May Jesus be with you.
It also tells you pretty much everything that is going to happen. This shows how straightforward this game will be eventually. You see these musical notes, the two balls on the ground with an animal symbol on it, and looking at the telescope you can see letters of the Hebrew alphabet. Which, by the way, just listen to her here.
Keep looking around.
Keep looking around. Keep looking around. Take a closer look. The names of the apostles. Interesting.
Do you see what they're doing? They're pretty much telling you everything on what to do. You go back and forth here and reaching the next puzzle just to get your information. Entering each area, it tells you the puzzle with its instructions. Oh boy, look at the poses with the stripper boots. Yeah, these reviews are right, this is just weird. She then full on tells you what to do here. At first I was thinking, they couldn't do this for too long. I mean, they couldn't, right? This is the first puzzle, so it's probably just a tutorial. The sense of direction she provides though, just gets worse and worse. So what exactly does this puzzle entail? You go back to the beginning of this level near the warp gate and then talk to her. She then says some various biblical things.
Yes, this place is beautiful, but many will not enter. Only those who are washed in the blood of the Lamb will enter.
Then it pans down from her face, showing a shot of the cleavage of course, and to her belt buckle that has the Alpha and Omega symbol, which according to Google is in quite a few Bible verses. She then activates a machine that shows a symbol. You then go to where the orb is, click on it to activate a bridge, walk through it, go up the stairs, and then select said symbol. You then go to the color crystals below, activate it, then go back up and rotate the color spheres around to move the angels. Now, I can kinda see this as an okay puzzle, but there are 3 things in this that ruin it. Firstly, they don't really show or give hints as to what the rotations do. They could have, for example, used some color theory to connect them, which I think would have actually made a cool puzzle. I mean, there was a Myst 4 puzzle like that. Instead, the method they did was leading to the biggest flaw of this. She literally goes through it with you every step of the way. The direction to go, when you're going the wrong way, and how many times to click on the color rotations. I'll show a short compilation of it.
Oh, I see you dialed in your symbol. You can go over there to see if it works.
You've got to raise the bridge. That's better. Take a closer look at. You're doing a great job. You've opened 3 control stations and you're working on your 4th.
If you need another symbol, the symbol machine is that way.
Look for the sparkle pole.
Not that way.
You're going the wrong way. Sparkle pole.
And people think Navi is annoying? They don't know shit. Perhaps they're doing it because the Christians say that God guides people. The thing is, it's actually worse this way. The speed at when she says these things is not only super grating, but I found myself getting even more lost as I was following her. It actually is worse this way. The speed that she says these things is not only super grating, but I found myself getting more lost as I was going through with it. In fact, I could have sworn that at one point she was saying I was going the wrong way when it was indeed the right way. Maybe because of the speed I was moving my mouse? Still, if you know where to go, at least the gist of it, hearing that will hinder your experience. And I might go as far as to say that it will gaslight you. The third flaw, you gotta repeat this 6 times. 6 times! Sure, this place looks cool, but when you're essentially following every step of the puzzle with a much more annoying version of Navi, and doing that for like a good 25 to 30 minutes, even if you know what to do, trust me, this is just a terrible experience.
This is the next control station to be opened.
You've got to raise the bridge.
Not that
We must go this way. Take a closer look.
I think that's good. Good, you dialed in the correct symbol. Now that control station number 4 is open, you can adjust the angel rings and move on to control station number 5.
This is control station number 4.
Just a little further. Just a little further. Just a little further. Just a little further. That's better.
Reaching points, it becomes less subtle, such as this area with a prayer.
Carried me away in the spirit to a great and high mountain, and showed me the great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from God, having the
I will give more credit where credit is due though. More than the incredibly beautiful shots that you will see every time you enter a new area. The second puzzle is decent, and I think it would have made a better intro. You use a telescope to see the names of the apostles and their corresponding Hebrew letter, with some of them being blocked too. Although it's partially made cheap where they even tell you where to look. I also saved at this point. Jeez, they aren't even being subtle with it, once again. Now, in the interview, Paul said that he was inspired by Mysts 3 Exile the most. This is where it shows it. You got a traveling ball puzzle, just like in the Amateria age. In this one, you make a colored ball and then place either a horse, lion, or eagle on it. Then you launch it, and if it's right, you will get to go through a ring. Once again, most of the info was given in Paradise Island, with you just needing to deduce the third one on your own. But it's literally just using the remaining color and the remaining animal symbol. Because of her following you every step of the way, I was lost here for like 30 minutes. It was simply because I had to go back to certain spots to trigger some of her dialogue until she goes to where she should be. Also, look at her when you start moving the cycle to trigger it. No, I didn't do that zoom in. Not only is there that strut to show herself off, but it zooms in on her ass. They are really trying to go into the sex sells factor. This leads to the music puzzle, probably the best one in the game. You have to figure out the notes for yourself and the short, normal, and long tone. You then look at the song that you got from Paradise Island and try to duplicate that. However, the one flaw is that you don't even need to go back to Paradise Island to see the song. Just trigger the black crystal. That is a minor complaint, but one that is made too simple. Come on, it's a Myst clone. This is based off of a Myst game pretty much. Just get people to write that stuff down. This is when things get surreal.
The name of Jesus has power to heal the sick and raise the dead. His height is eternal. Gotcha. Whoa, easy girl.
The last puzzle is when it gets super disappointing. You gotta trigger a light in this pedal, and then the right symbol in the giant podium. It has to do with the first few verses of Genesis, which that's fine, but they don't even make the order of it random. It's literally choose the first symbol for the first pedal, the second for the second one, etc. That isn't even a puzzle. The annoying part is that you have to go back to access, and then she says this.
Oh, I see you need my help. I'll meet you at the proper sphere.
It then leads to the final portion, the gate, Where St. Peter is though, I have no idea, but the final cutscene is a sight to behold. So, let's end this to determine the miss factor. 1. Yep, this is first person. It gets an Atris.
Keep moving it to the right.
2. There's no inventory at all. Another Atris.
Keep moving it to the right.
3. There's no commands at all except moving around and interacting. Yet another Atris.
Keep moving it to the right.
4. You have a name, Joshua, and you do see yourself sometimes. So I give it an Akinar.
Screw you.
5. It does have an atmosphere, but I wouldn't call it isolating because Axis is with you the entire time. But then again, it's mostly just you two. I'll give it half of a Catherine.
Breathtaking, isn't it?
6. The plot. It pretty much told it all the way. It gets a Cirrus.
Oh, yes!
7. They are logic-based puzzles, mostly stemming from trial and error, but they are super simple. Still, it gets an Atris.
Keep moving it to the right.
This is most definitely a Myst clone. For the game itself, I might have found gold for a great video that I hope you've enjoyed, with some potential to it, admittedly. But overall, it's such a strange mess. He did say that there were going to be 2 more games, but it looks like they're never going to be made. In fact, looking at the website, the PayPal and eBay page still says coming soon, after 13 years. So, there's that.
Why, I guess my distraction might have went too far. I didn't want to kill him, simply to send him to space. But I guess Michael has rescued him. I guess I'm going to get punched again.
Ho 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 ho! Yes, you are.
Well, I guess I deserved that. Da-da-la!